Welcome back to the Realistic Cattle Ranch Challenge on Sunshine Forest. I'm BP, and it's time to get to work. We are still in June, guys. I was not happy with how that last episode ended, with just coming up short on the purchase of our tedder. So I went back to the farm and decided to do some lumber work, some forestry work. And interestingly enough, I looked back at the sale and we had the Paladin brush and log fork in the sale for like $700, and I was like, that is a sign that it is meant to be. So we've got 2 trees cut up. Most of it's cut to about 8-meter lengths. I'm not sure what the ideal length is in Farm Sim 25. I know generally longer is better than shorter. You don't want huge trees. They are delimbed, so they should be good. So I'm hoping we get a couple of $1,000 here. $11,000, guys. That is crazy. That is so much more than I was expecting after we got $120 for the last 2 trees. We are flush with cash. This is exciting. We are going to buy a tedder, and it is going to be great. I'm so excited. Oh, guys, that is such a relief. So maybe we do a couple of trees here and there and start getting a little bit ahead on the cash. So let's jump into the menu. First, I want to get the triggers turned off. I don't like playing with those on. Wasn't familiar with the lumber mill. I wanted to make sure we had that where we needed everything. All right, into the shop. One last check that nothing's changed in the sale since we cut down a couple of trees. Nope, nothing has changed. I did see the Massey on sale for $49,875. It'd be a great harvester to have. Just so much more than we need for our one very small wheat field. So we are not buying a harvester. We're going to stay focused. We're not getting off track. Come down here, tedders. Now we have some options because, man, I'd love to get the Pottinger for 44,000 that does 17 meters. The Colossus does 17 meters as well. Just too big for what we need, but we do have an 8.9 meter Samaz compared to the 8.2 Crone. So let's go ahead and grab this boundary spreader system. Is that the little Samaz sign that keeps it from going over $800? I mean, we're in the grass business because we have cattle, so I think that is going to be what we need. Okay, cool. We have a tedder. It only took 2.5 episodes. We only failed several times, but we are now on track to be making hay. And it means that all of that silage I made off of the last field, field 1, before we plowed it up and replanted it, can be used directly to feed cattle. And now that we know that trees are profitable and it's not, it's a lot of work, but it's not hard work to get 2 trees cut down, we could do a couple of trees every episode. I could do them between episodes, and we could get, some money in the bank to keep things moving so we don't need to sell the silage. That is really exciting news. This telehandler has been worth its weight in gold at the shop, just letting us load everything, not having to drive back and forth constantly. Let's see if we can get a little further on. Get it flat, get it up, get it tipped down. Snake it out. Sometimes when you start with a win, the rest of it all seems downhill and easy. So excited for the rest of this episode. Now we have $8,000 cash. We should check in and see what the cow situation is at the dealer. So let's get this back to the farm. And don't forget to strap it before you leave. Let's get the tedder back to the farm. I think we'll run back up here with our animal trailer because we want to pick up more cows. We were holding off to try to save some money. And I will see you guys back here with the animal trailer. See you soon. Back at the dealership, checking out the animal supply. I was just noticing, guys, this truck has 50 miles on it, and we don't use it for anything on the farm. So that's 50 miles just going back and forth to the shop and the dealer. So that is, we are getting our work out of our truck. So let's check out some animals. Brown Swiss calf, very bad. Definitely not very bad. We do have a couple of bulls. This one's $1,300, probably not worth it. That's a very good Holstein calf, 11 months. Yeah, we're taking that one. That one will be ready to be bred next month. A very good Holstein bull, but again, very expensive. I don't think we're in the business of raising bulls to resell for money. Angus, that one is just, it just says bad for the overall. Like, I'm sorry, guys, CZ, it's no good. Where are you from? Czech Republic? Yeah, no, thank you. Very bad. And then we have extremely high and very good. Health extremely high. Milk production very high. Metabolism very high. Quality and fertility. Yeah, this one, $195. It was born today. That is definitely coming with us. That's a long-term investment. That thing will support our farm. Got to pop out and pop back in because the menu stacked up there a little bit. Yeah, we have, man, that's a great looking bull. That thing is a really high quality animal, but we just don't need it. They're so expensive. Limousine. This one's named Silver. It's from Sweden, 10 months old. Very high, very high, very high, very high, and very good. I think that one's worth the cost. 10 months, it'll be ready to be bred in 2 months. That's a very bad animal, very bad, very bad, very bad, bad, and very good. That's a $2,200 limousine bull. Why is that a bull? Are my menus stacked again? Yeah, something. Let's get back in here, guys. The menu seems to stack. Yeah, see the bull, it moved up. I'm glad I caught that. Would have bought it potentially. Water buffalo, very bad, very bad, very bad. We have Bob the water buffalo bull. He's very bad. He's almost worth buying just because his name is Bob, and he's from Norway. Bob from Norway, buddy. You're having a rough day. Yeah, so not a lot of good animals. So that is part of the game with the realistic livestock mod. You know, we came in here, we have money to spend, we're ready to keep growing our farm. And, you know, there's only 3 good animals, and it's not worth bringing home bad animals. I'm going to drive these guys back, and I'll see you guys back at the farm. We are back at the ranch. Let's go ahead and get these guys put in. All right, right here. Transfer all 3 of these animals. Our barn holds 50 cows. I wonder how many. We have 16 of 50. Still have lots and lots of room. Let's go ahead and get our trailer parked up. We do need to check and see what happened in the bullpen overnight, and if any of our cattle in the barn aged up as well as we headed into June. So let's drop the trailer and let's check and see what we have here. So definitely don't want that. Okay, Patch is pregnant. All of our brown Swiss are pregnant. Too young, pregnant, too young, pregnant. We know Alfie's too young. 3 months. Silver is 10 months too young. Misty's pregnant. Our water buffalo's 9 months too young. It will be next month. All right, so the animals we bought today. we need to get named, and we are in, double checking, we are in June. That's what we thought. So come in here, scroll down, silver, change name, June 2. We bought 3 animals, so there should be, okay, we got an Angus calf here, change name, Shiver. Sure, you look like you're cold. Shiver, no big deal. Then we got what, one Holstein as well. Change name, Choco. Excellent. All of that is done. So we have 16 plus 5 over here. Let's see what we've got. So Nirvana, pregnant with a baby. Haka, pregnant with a baby. And Tempo is pregnant with 3 babies. Wow, that went well for Rogue, apparently. And we have another Tempo, which is also pregnant with 3 babies. So all of our heifers need to be moved back over to the barn. So Tempo August year 1 and Tempo Jan 2. I think Tempo A1 we're going to change name on. Let's just random. Ugly Ruby, that's a terrible name. Shadow A1. Perfect. So we will grab our lead. Come on over here and see about getting our animals. Nirvana and Haka both need to be moved. What are we doing here? Why can't we move them? We definitely don't want to sell them. So, okay, move selected. Just had a glitch there for some reason. Okay, we got those 2. We're going to move them back over to the barn. Get them both moved over. Excellent. And back over here. Grab our last 2. We have Shadow and Tempo, who are both pregnant. Again, they want me to sell them. It's like the trigger, it's like I've gone too far for the trigger or something. Shadow and Tempo, move selected. I think it thinks because the leash is acting like a trailer in this case, that it, like the trailer's out of the trigger despite my arm being in. Yeah, we only got 1 that time. I was thinking we missed 1. So we'll go back and grab Tempo, I think is the one who's still over here, to make sure that the trailer is in the trigger. Yep, Tempo, move. Great. And we do need to check on the food in the barn. We did only put 2 silage bales in there, so we want to make sure that we have all of our animals taken care of. We'll put the lead right here. Okay, and then as far as the food for the animals go, the cow barn has 8,400 liters of silage. That seems like quite a bit. Let's run down here, and are we growth stage? Yeah, we are 4. Are we 4 out of 4? We might be, so it might be time to get this mowed up and turned into hay. I want to check our productions real quick. They need to be topped off with water. So I will get our grass field 2 mowed and baled up with, and tedded and baled up with our new tedder. And I will bring you guys back when we're well into that process and check in when we're almost done. See you guys in a little bit. We are wrapping up the hay baling. We got a lot off this field. We'll check here at the end. I think this may be our last full bale that we're gonna get. Let's see. Yep, I don't know. Maybe we get one more. We'll have to see. It is a pretty thick swath of hay on our field. So let's see if this little bit here and that little bit over there, and maybe a couple of tail end pieces will give us enough for a bale. 29, yeah, 37, not looking promising, might be done. We did make 180 centimeter bales, so they are very large, which is good news for us and for the animals. A lot less handling of the bales. Alright, so we got a couple of pieces here. We are not going to get another bale. Let's grab this one. Let's grab this one. And then was there one? Yeah, one little one right over here. Our first bale did pop out at 150 centimeters. So we got 980 centimeter bales of hay off of this field. That is really, really good. Let's grab a couple of those and let's throw them in the barn and get the cows fed. We can also throw one or two in the open pasture as well if we want. So let's get the baler put away first. It also seems to use a lot less net wrap or round bale net when we're making 180 centimeter bales. Doesn't seem to burn through it quite as quickly. So don't know if I'm just imagining that or if that's the case, but it is nice when we're not having to replace it. When we make silage, we're usually replacing the wrap and the round bale almost every single field, every single time we do it. So while we're here and we're switching equipment, we can check out the log grab for our Massey Ferguson. That thing is so cool. It worked really, really well, guys. 8-meter logs, the lodgepole pines, and whatever the other one was as well. No problems with the weights on the back. Handled like a champ. Just a really, really good setup. Maybe we jump into a little first person picking up the bales and feeding the animals. I think once we get these bales, a couple of these bales off the field and into the barn, I think we'll fast forward to July and see what we get. Those grass bales may be here on our last episode now that we've gotten hay. We'll have to see. Alright, heading out to the field. I think we'll start with a small one. Just throw that one in right off the rip. We don't want to keep that one around. Doesn't match up with the other ones. And the first one, the little one's right up here on the left. Was the first one we got out. We might actually be able to pick up two if we're any good with the bale spike, which we might be getting a little better. We might be getting close. Let's see. We get squared up a little bit. Want to put that one just about in the middle. Okay, not too shabby. Can we do two? Are we that good? And the 180, I don't know, this isn't 280, but they are definitely larger than the 150s. Hold on, we're almost there. Alright. So not a lot to be able to see here. Should we go underneath and see? Yeah, I think that's a little better. It's not having any problem with 150 and 180. It's handling the weight just fine. Drop these in. And down you go. Yeah, they're different sizes, so they might come off differently. Yeah, those went right in. Let's take a look and see what those look like in here. So we are at hay, 15,553 liters. Another 8,000 liters of silage, so we are in good shape overall. I think these guys may only take one more bale, so let's go grab 2. We'll put 1 over by the bullpen. We don't have any heifers or cows in there now, so there's no point in using a hay bale. They can eat the grass, whatever silage is left, and potentially some meadow grass, which would be pretty helpful as well. While we're getting this done, I did put the tedding on a time lapse. Thought we spent all that effort getting a tedder. We may as well share it. It worked absolutely fantastically. I thought we'd want a bigger one, but it's only like 4 passes up and down the field, so it really wasn't a big deal. And I think a bigger one might be really hard to turn on our field, so I think that worked out quite well. All right, 2 180 centimeter bales. This Massey skid steer tool is an absolute beast when it's fully kitted out. I mean, we got some weight on the back, but these are 2 huge bales that are just hanging out in this thing that's not underpowered. I can drive as fast as I want. It handles them well. Really, really glad I found this from Black Sheep Modding. A really, really cool mod. It took me a little while to find it because they changed the name of the pack that it was in. So, but once we found it, glad we got it on the farm. Let's see if we can't. And the cool thing about being a skid steer is that you can turn like on a dime. So we can sort of turn and push that one over. Let's see. See if we can get it a little bit closer. Not bad, that'll work. That worked out perfectly. Okay, so our last hay bale going into the cow barn. Back it out. And I don't think it's going to take that whole hay bale, so it'll be alright. It'll sit there overnight and it'll pop in whenever they need it, so. Alright, let's get this tucked back into the barn. Oh, we got the forks down. I'm like, why is the steering suddenly so unreliable? But that's just on me. Okay, I think the last thing we want to do here in June is we want to, well, that's not true. There are 2 things. One, we need to get the water topped off. We can do a little bit of in-cab driving. We haven't done a lot in this one. The windshield is absolutely filthy, so it's not the best for in-cab driving, but we can certainly give it a whirl and get some of it. So we need to fill up our greenhouses with water, and I figured while we have a little bit of money, you know, maybe we should buy the soil samples as well. So let's dump this one. And see, if you look carefully, you can see the liters going down on the digital display over there. They match right up with the water displayed on the screen. Such a cool detail. Again, just a really, really cool mod. Let's stop the dumping. Let's get her filled up. And let's go over here to the other one. Get that dumped. Any extra we'll just go throw in the bullpen. Always try to keep them topped off whenever we're doing water. They've got a ton in there, but they're just not first of mind when it comes to watering. I don't want to forget. 10,000 liters? I'm sorry, 1,000 liters? That'll go over here just fine. Put that in there. And done. Cool. All right, so we got everything watered. And I think the last thing we want to do is jump into the PDA, and I think it's time to buy the purchase. Oh, it's 3,400. When we went to buy it last time, it was 18. So having those fields in did increase the number of samples. I think we were at 7 or 8 samples last time. So that price was much lower. Very interesting. So it's like based on the total area of your fields, and because we increased the size of fields, some of those fields were sort of spotty with the meadow grass and the real grass, it did change the price. That's fine. It just very interesting that basically the same fields were costing us different money. So that is, let's see, can we get that turned off? Yeah, so we have, let's see, we have sandy loamy sand, and silty clay. So our big grass field is not a great field as far as quality. Our wheat field and our small grass field are a little better in quality. They both obviously need some lime. They both, it's so weird. Let's look at that. Oh, that's where I put the slurry down last episode or a couple episodes ago. It actually took, so that's very cool there as well. So it did take some, it remembers. And then we have our yield map from our mowing. You can see the small grass field has no patches in it because we planted it and cut real grass on it. So excellent. That is very, very cool. One last check on our cows. Always check on them before we go to bed. Make sure they have what they need. Yep, 21,000 liters of hay. We're in good shape on the barn. And the cow pasture, well, the open pasture, we have 5,700 liters of silage left, a bunch of grass, and there's still meadow in there, and they have almost 30,000 liters of water, so we are very good. I will see you guys in July. Into July we go, and back into debt. Always the case. Let's start with a quick check on the cows. Let's get them situated, and then we'll probably call this an episode. Get to the actual field work next episode. So all of our brown Swiss are pregnant. Okay, Vanity, you've got to head on over. All right, we've got one animal. Choco, also have to head on over. All right, we got 2 animals. We will bring them over to the bullpen. Lead them over all nice like. Get them dropped off. Excellent. Let's go back over here and check again. We got through, what, the Holsteins almost. Yep, all those are pregnant. 2 young. No suitable animal. We can fix that, Queen. 3 babies. 1 baby. 60%. Alfie's still way too young. 1 baby. The water buffalo, too young. No suitable male. We can fix that. All right, get these up. We drop the leash again. So we got to be getting pretty close to that first limousine. Is it Misty? Giving birth to calves. We'll have to figure that out here in just a second. So let's see. We got the rest of the limousines. Too young. Yeah, so Misty, I was right. Hey, look, you remember the name. 90%. We get our first calf on the farm that we bred ourselves next month. That is super exciting. Our water buffalo, too young, already pregnant. And our bull is at 11 months. We're going to move him over. There's no point in keeping him in the cow barn. Let's just get him moved over. And we can always, we may have to make a decision about what we're going to do with him and the rest of the animals, or the rest of the bulls. Figure out which one is a better mix. So those are all moved. Excellent. Put our leash back over here by our barn. And guys, we finally got a tedder. We finally made some hay. We picked up more animals. We are soon to be having our first bred calf on the farm. Our first heifer is about to give birth. Very exciting stuff. I will probably get the hay bales off the field. I will probably get a couple more trees cut down. I'll get the lettuce ready to be delivered before I see you guys next time. And we'll pick up with picking up more cows. And depending on the income situation, we might be doing something with this area back here. Thinking about putting in another pasture, another barn. We'll have to see how much money we come up with. But I think we're finally making headway, and we're going to have milk next month too, with the first birth of a calf as well. So we're going to have another income stream coming our way. So really, really cool stuff happening here on the Realistic Cattle Ranch Challenge. Super happy with the way this series is turning out. Love to hear from you guys. Leave a comment, leave some feedback down below. You know, are you guys playing with this mod as well? You know, is this what you guys expected? Did you learn anything? Just love to hear from you guys. But thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications. And we'll see you in the next one.